Hey everybody, it's the coach. Welcome to the special Saturday edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles as they take on the new man, Nick Foles, and the Jacksonville Jaguars. With that, let's get on up to Jacksonville. Standing by for the call, it's our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, we are 15 miles due west of the Atlantic, nestled in downtown Jacksonville at TIAA Bank Field. A few minutes prior to us coming on air, this crowd was jolted into action with the introduction of these Jaguars. They're set for football as the Jags are ready to match up with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. Up in the booth with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden, and kickoff straight ahead, CD. What's one thing that you're going to have your eye on?
I think about what the great coaches of the past always said, the key to any ball game. Can you rush theirs and protect yours? Well, in this case, both of these teams get after the quarterbacks. I'm watching the pass rush.
The Jaguars have Josh Lambo out there to get us started. And off we go from Jacksonville. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. There's Carson Wentz bringing out the Philadelphia Eagles. 21 touchdown passes, just 7 interceptions for him last year until a back injury knocked him out in Week 14. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. He's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
Out of bounds at the 31-yard line. It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
That was shades of Tennessee volunteer football back in the 80s with Charles Davis coming up from the secondary to make the tackle for a loss.
You mean my teammates doing that, right? Because they would tell you, my coach would say, where's that tape? I want to see that. But how about the complete package there? Not just playing the pass, but being a willing tackler and making a really nice play.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. Back deep for the Jags, D.D. Westbrook. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a 1-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
They go with Leonard Fournette, third-year back from LSU. And they'll get him down up past the 15.
That'll go for a gain of 13, helping big time to get away from that end zone. First down.
I guess it's good we can't really read the mind of the defensive coordinator now, huh?
Had him pinned back there deep, give up that run. Can't be happy.
Yeah, whatever is in his mind right now, we probably couldn't say over the air.
So a little breathing room now. 1st and 10 at the 17. On the run, it's Fournette. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Nigel Bradham brings him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Foles. Man open is Keelan Cole, complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? First a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
Foles. Throw right side of the tight end, O'Shaughnessy. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Foles off the play fake to Fournette. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Brandon Graham applying the heat off the edge.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Now it's the former Texan. This is Alfred Blue. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Fletcher Cox there for the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Open is Swaim, the tight end. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
This is Josh Lambo. He hit from 57 a year ago. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. Online, but off the crossbar, no good. Last-ditch effort denied 3 points at the very end. All things considered, a pretty good kick. Just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck. And unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. Now a 2-time 1,000-yard rusher for the Bears. This is Jordan Howard. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Miles Jack there to make the tackle.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
We're scoreless after 1. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9. On 2nd and 9, Wentz. He finds Aguilar over the middle. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Now Wentz, and complete to Zach Ertz. And he's going to be down at the 35, gain of 7.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots in the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to, pick up a 1st down.
Wentz going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game.
Ball start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still 1st down.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Wentz to throw again. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a 1st down if not for that penalty moments ago.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
This is Howard on 2nd down. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Here we go. Waiting.
Working from the gun, Wentz. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
False start. Offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it.
Still
Might have been a
second down.
little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal. Shotgun now for Wentz. Completes it to Aguilar. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that is going to set up 3rd and goal. An extra defensive back on the field here for 3rd and goal. 2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll check in with our Jonathan Coachman. He'll have highlights and analysis of the first half, and our highlights will likely be on the defensive side of the football here. Scoreless game. This will be caught at about the 6. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
And the kick by Elliott is good. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the 2nd quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
And feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Yeah, get a little closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
180!
Hey, watch the slam.
Now Foles. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter. A lot of time to change things. On 2nd and 10. Foles. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's a give to Fournette. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. All right, time for us now to discuss Alshon Jeffrey. Not only does he not have a catch, I don't think he's been targeted in this game, but they're winning.
And if you ask a receiver of his magnitude, he'll tell you that it's because everyone is focused on him anyway. Okay, you've taken it away. No catches, no targets, but we're still winning. I've opened things up for the rest of my team. I know how receivers think.
They've been using him as a decoy, and effectively so. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wentz. And this is Ertz with it, right side. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
I know that halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Throwing is Wentz. Dance, and eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the 1st half. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Wentz going to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their 1st timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half. Here's Cameron Johnston now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And taken right on the 30. They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Here's Foles. Lee's got it over the middle, and he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the 1st half.
Here we go. Mike 5-4. Yeah, that's what I do.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. A good pickup there of 22. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. And this one is right down the middle. And that will tie things up as we head toward halftime.
So a big play before the end of the half to get them into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10.
All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play.
We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. Not too much to show you scoring-wise in that first half. Just a couple of field goals make up all the scoring. But the teams are ready to go at half number 2. So to bring it your way, let's get right back out to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to roll. 2 field goals, the combined output in half number 1. Could be first touchdown wins. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up.
It's going to be a long day.
Second half beginning with a run from Fournette. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I'm getting the sense that Fletcher Cox is making offensive linemen want to take the week off when they have to play against him.
It's a regular routine for him, isn't it?
It really is. That play there, that's him all day long. Good luck trying to block him and keep him from disrupting your offense.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Brandon Graham, his 2nd sack of the night.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
If there's any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
He's not going to get me.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. He's going to float this one deep right side. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Well, shame on them, Coach Davis. They went against your advice. They threw the football, and now they're backed up to punt this away.
They're actually fortunate. They went against my advice, but they didn't turn it over, right? No takeaway for the defense. They'll punt it now. They probably could have gained a few yards if they ran it, though, and helped out with field position.
Here's Logan Cook now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And that will come the offense as they take over. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. They go with Howard to begin the drive. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Wentz off the fake handoff to Howard. He's got his man on the crossing route. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him.
Here we go. All day, just like that.
On first down, they run with Howard. Fighting through, and he's got space. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. To throw is Wentz. That's complete right around the 8. And now a fumble. The ball's out.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Might we see our first touchdown of the game? Here's 1st and goal. So the false start will back them up 5.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. And they'll try again here, 1st and goal after the false start. To throw, it's Wentz. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Marcel Darius flies in at 331 pounds for the sack.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, it took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. Wentz now to throw. Incomplete. He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time. But now it's 3rd and goal. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. From 10 yards out, and the Eagles have taken the lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead is now 10-3. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Let's go! 54. Mike 54. Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. This throw over the middle, taken in by Cole. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars in the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. A handoff to Fournette. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
It's our time. It's our time, guys. It's our time. Here we go.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything, so it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. This one complete to the tight end, O'Shaughnessy. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. We have played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Foles. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. No yardage to speak of whatsoever. Leads to a 3rd down. Now, they couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Malik Jackson, the 6'5" D tackle with a sack. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville.
Let's go, baby.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11.
Quit talking about it and bring it.
Wentz throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. This a very important drive, and that incompletion leads to a very important third down here if they're going to try and get the football back.
Yeah, getting it back, absolutely crucial to their chances to try and win this game. I would expect a lot of pressure here. They can't afford to let them continue to get first downs and eat away at the clock.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Throwing now is Wentz. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Yannick Ngakoue able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. Take it at the 37. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here.
These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Throw right side of the tight end is Shaughnessy. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route, it's extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
Foles now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. Eagle pressure. Too much this time. Down he goes. 4th quarter. Down to the final 2 minutes. And we've got a 1-score game.
You can't stop me.
So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To try again after the sack. Foles. That's into the hands of Westbrook over the middle.
That completion helps out in a nice way. Now they can take a little bit more time, but guess what? They've got to make sure on their throws that they see it open, not just anticipate it.
They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down.
53, check 53.
On 3rd down, they run with blue. And he'll be tackled after a gain of 4, still 3 yards short. 4th down.
That's it. That's it. Big hit.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down.
53 is the mic.
He'll look to throw. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Eagles are likely going to win it. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. I've seen, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
They'll start out on the ground with Sproles. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing.
He's coming.
On the handoff, this is Howard. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. The Eagles in the victory formation as they take a knee. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game.
Here we go. 120! I got him! Check the backer, check the backer!
The Eagles in the victory formation as they take a knee. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
You can't block me! You can't block me!
Wentz with a kneel down, and that will be the final act of this game. Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium, that certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you? You loved the defenses.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. From Jacksonville, good night, everybody.